Hey folks, I'm Troy and you're watching TroyTube. Since we launched our company, and actually even before that, we've been asked a lot of questions about what we're going to carry. Are you going to carry this? Are you going to carry that? I think one of the most common questions, if not the most common question we've had is, are you going to carry Puff HTV? We'll be back in a minute to answer that. Well, of course, the answer to that is yes, we're going to carry it. And actually, we already do. It's on our website now. But watch this video for some important information before you run out and buy it, try to use it, or you could run into some problems because it is a little bit different product to work with, but it's really fun to use. So what is Puff HTV? There's screen print ink that kind of adds a dimension to the designs. It's popular in t-shirt designs and hat designs, and it adds dimension to the design, like I said. And you can do that with HTV. The Puff HTV has been around for a little while, but Specialty Materials, the makers of FASHIONFlex heat transfer vinyl, the products we're going to be carrying, has the largest selection of colors in the market for for Puff HTV. So 28 colors plus 4 metallics, so 32 colors altogether. Now at the time of this video, when you go look at our website, there are 6 colors that are on back order. They are out of stock at the manufacturer, and we're waiting for those to come in. Hopefully we'll have those pretty soon and have all 32 available, but right now we do have the rest on our website ready to go. Now the Puff HTV comes in 12 by 19.5 inch sheets. The rolls are 19.5 inches wide, so we cut them at 12 inches, so you'll get a 12 by 19.5 inch sheet, quite a bit larger than a standard 12 by 12 sheet. Not quite a 12 by 24 sheet, but pretty big sheet, especially for the price. So this is fun stuff to work with, and I think you're really going to enjoy this. Now there's a couple things I want to point out that are extremely important when it comes to working with it. When it comes to cutting it, you should be fine with a standard blade with, just cut it as heat transfer vinyl, everyday iron-on, whatever you want to call it, and you should be fine with that. Now, you may want to put it in your machine and do a little test cut and weed it, make sure it cuts and weeds cleanly before you commit a whole design to it, because you don't want to waste a product. Anytime you work with a new product, I always recommend doing a small test cut. You also might want to cut a small piece of this and maybe just a single letter or something like that out and apply it to an extra piece of material or a garment that you maybe you have, if you're like me, you have plenty of practice shirts laying around, trust me. But that'll give you an idea of how it works and what to expect when you do apply it to a garment for a final design. Of course, you cut it mirrored like any heat transfer vinyl, so carry your sheet down to the mat. That's a very important thing because I want everyone to stop saying shiny side down. Never say that again. I've been preaching that for years because not all heat transfer vinyl has a shiny carrier sheet. And if I show you this piece, you'll notice that is not shiny, that is shiny. This is the adhesive side. This side goes to the mat. The best way to know this for any heat transfer vinyl, what I tell people if you're not familiar with it, especially if it's the first time you've used it, take your weeding tool and pick the corner a little bit and peel it back just so you can see which side's the clear carrier sheet. That's the side that will go down to your mat, and again, you'll mirror that cut. Now, as far as pressing it, the temperatures do vary. All this information, by the way, is on our website. So if you go to any of the heat transfer vinyl products and you scroll down the page and look at there's a long description. There's a short description at the top of the price, but there's a long description on every product. And then there's a tab that says additional information, and there you'll find the pressing and care instructions and everything for each of the heat transfer vinyl products. So that will always be a reference point for you to go to our website. Now with Puff, with FASHIONFlex Puff, the temperatures vary just a little bit. So white, you press at 290 degrees. With pink and neons, you'll press at 275, and with all other colors, you'll press at 305. And you can vary the amount of how much it puffs a little bit by adjusting the temperature up or down a little bit. I'm going to say something that's going to be a speculation. Okay, so this is me purely speculating, but I think what I'm going to say it will make sense to you. I think if you press a little bit hotter, it will puff even a little more, but there is a point where you risk it not lasting as long through the wash and things and wear if you do that, because the more it puffs out, the more it's going to expand and probably not last quite as long. Care instructions, wash, what I tell people the most important thing when it comes to any heat transfer vinyl product is to hang to dry. Now they say tumble dry, low heat. You do turn it inside out to protect it though, so you don't want that puff rubbing against all the other laundry and zippers and buttons and things in your wash, because that might tear it up. But I tell people I recommend hang to dry. Tammy hangs all of our shirts to dry. She never dries any of the shirts, and it just extends the life of the heat transfer vinyl and the garment. So the garments will last longer if you don't dry them. There's a reason all that lint comes out of your dryer. It's because it's taking it from the garment. So just be aware of that, and I think you'll get a longer wear out of the garments if you don't dry them and you hang to dry instead. So you press with medium pressure. One of the more important things is when you press it, after you press it, immediately peel that carrier hot. Do not wait, do not let it cold. Open that press, peel the carrier off immediately. Now before we make a shirt with this, I'm going to point out two what I call color alerts. And these are on the product pages, so you want to be careful with these colors. The first one isn't too bad. This is what they call khaki. It's actually a dark green. A lot of people would expect a brown or tan color for khaki, but khaki is a little bit of a broad term. This one isn't too bad because khaki does encompass kind of the browns and greens, kind of earth tone colors. So just beware of that. If you order khaki, if you're looking for a tan or brown, you might want to go with coffee or camel, one of the other colors. But this is khaki, and we are only representing this as the colors the manufacturer does. So I can't really, I'm not going to change what I call it. However, this is the one that really kind of shocked me a little bit. Yellow. Yeah, this is what they call yellow. It's really orange. I thought when I first saw it, I thought, well, maybe it turns more yellow after you press it and it expands out. No, this is what they call yellow, and you can clearly see this is the back of the neon orange, which is a really bright yellow to me, and I don't think that's yellow, but that's what they call it. I think maybe it was intended to be more like an old gold or an athletic gold color. So if you think about Oakland A's, probably, maybe not Oakland A's, they're kind of a pale yellow, but it's Pittsburgh Steelers and West Virginia University's logo, those are old gold or athletic gold. I think maybe that's what that was intended to be, but it's really pretty orange to me. So if you buy what they call yellow from our site, the color swatch on the screen is just like this. In the description in big red letters, it tells you this is really orange to us, but it's called yellow, so beware of that. Now what we're going to do is apply this neon orange to a shirt. I'm going to save you the pain and agony of watching me cut and weed this. It's that's not that big of a deal. Most of you have done that already. So I'm going to do our logo actually and put this on a shirt, neon orange. And so let me get the camera moved around, and I'll go ahead and cut and weed this, and then I'll show you the pressing and show you what happens when you apply the FASHIONFlex Puff. One of the things I failed to mention earlier is to pre-press your garment for about 3 to 5 seconds just to get the moisture out of it. That is very important with this Puff HTV. I used to not do that with regular HTV. I made it a practice since we've moved to South Florida, since the humidity is horrendous here. But overall, with most HTV in areas, I don't do that. But with Puff, it is pretty important. And I'm going to lay this right on the shirt here. And we'll press with medium pressure for 10 seconds. And we peel hot immediately after pressing. And I can already see it puffed up quite a bit. That is awesome. So let me zoom in a little bit and show you this. All right, so there you have it. It's a little harder to see on that camera, but there, light angle is probably a little bit better. And but yeah, it's a 3-dimensional Puff HTV. Awesome stuff, very fun to make designs with. So just make sure you follow those instructions. Again, that additional information tab on the product page on our website at bulkvinyl.com. You can get this on our site now. Just a reminder, at the time of this video, there are 6 colors that are on back order that you'll see on the website. But check it out, and if you have any questions or comments, post them down below. Hey folks, I just wanted to take a minute to thank everyone for the love, kindness, and support that you've provided to Tammy and I over the past several years. It's been almost 10 years, believe it or not, been 8.5 years since we bought our first Cricut, so we're almost a decade into new careers for both of us. So when you buy great products like Orcal 651, Thermoflex heat transfer vinyl, DPI sub, premium sublimation ink, blanks, any of those things that you buy from our site help support us and our employees and our employees' families. Don't forget about our subscription and membership, which gives you access to our e-learning courses and also significant discounts on product purchases as well. So if you like our videos and everything we do, click the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. And when you do, click the bell next to it so that you'll get notified when I publish new videos. And then in the video description, there's also links to all of our Facebook groups, our Facebook pages. So joining those groups, liking our pages, leaving us reviews helps us out immensely. And we thoroughly enjoy every minute of this journey along this path with you to bring love, kindness, and hope to the world using your crafting hobby or small business, whether it's been in person, on the phone, or through social media.